We will start with Hind Elyas. Hind Elyas works as an English language instructor at Niagara College in Saudi Arabia. She is also an executive secretary at TESOL Africa, a professional development coordinator at TESOL Saudi Arabia, and a coordinator at IATEFL. And she is also a National Geographic Advisory Board member. The title of her presentation is Fostering Employability Skills in the Language Classroom, Tips and Tricks. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hind Elyas. I'm an English instructor based in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I work at the leading national academy, LANA, in Saudi Arabia, and I'm very happy to be here. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Ghada Jassim and Iman Baruchi for giving me this opportunity, and all the organizers of this great event. So my session is Fostering Employability Skills in the Language Classroom, Tips and Tricks. So this is a little information about me. I'm part of many English language associations, and I'm really interested in professional development. So I'll start by talking about changes in education. The job market today is challenging, and as we can see, teachers are updating their curriculum and teaching strategies to focus on new skills and values to help students excel in the workplace by increasing their chances of getting jobs and avoiding redundancy. So what are employability skills? Employability skills are personal qualities that make you employable, and they're often called soft skills. They're separate from your technical knowledge and work experience, and they can be applied at almost any job. If we look at different examples like communication, honesty, teamwork, strong work ethic, flexibility and adaptability, agility, all these skills are important for students. So why are they important? These set of job readiness skills are very important for any job, and they are important to help you connect with coworkers, solve problems, be part of and understand your role within the team, make responsible choices for your job and career, be independent, and take charge of your career. It also includes personal characteristics like habits, attitudes, how you interact with other people, and one of the most important things is that it helps you, it shows how you get along with other employees and team members and customers, and how effectively you're likely to handle your job performance and career success. So we need to ask ourselves two very important questions. How can educators prepare students for the job market? And how can we help students develop employability skills? The solution is the 6 C's of education. So the 6 C's are modern day skills that play a major role in setting students up for success. So what do teachers need to do? Teachers need to rethink their existing curricula in order to help students build these 21st century skills that help them in the workplace. So I'm going to talk about the 21st century skills. I'm going to be using a few visual aids, but everything is on the PowerPoint, but I like to use visual aids too. So 21st century skills. If we look at the, if you look at this classroom, this shows what the 20th century classroom looks like. The framework for the 20th century classroom focused on core subjects and assessment. So it was just teach, test, teach, test. Now, the 21st century classroom is a lot different. It doesn't focus only on assessment, it focuses on 21st century assessment. And instead of focusing only on core subjects, it focuses on ICT literacy, learning and thinking skills, core subjects, 21st century content, and life skills. So since the 1990s, educators and policymakers have been trying to find a way to develop 21st century skills that help students in the classroom. So the Partnership for 21st Century Learning came up with the 21st century skills, and they called them the 4 C's. The first one is communication. So communication is sharing thoughts, ideas, and solutions. In the technological age, it's much easier yet harder to communicate. Technology has provided us with so many ways to communicate, but it can be overwhelming. Technology has advantages and disadvantages, and sometimes the problem is that we focus on the tool rather than the actual message itself. However, without effective communication, there's no way to get anything done, whether it's inside the classroom or outside. The second C is collaboration, which is working together to reach a goal, and it's about working together. And so, as we said, it's similar to communication. Some breakdowns can happen. The number of choices can be overwhelming, and the actual collaboration can be lost while we're focusing on the tool rather than the actual message. As the world gets more and more interconnected, collaboration will become a more and more essential tool than it is today. The third one is critical thinking, which is looking at problems in a way and linking learning across subjects and disciplines. It's an essential skill in every century, in every profession. It allows students to make sense of present-day content and apply it in their daily lives. However, it's too easy to let technology do the thinking for us. In order to succeed in the 21st century, we have to remember that no matter how high-tech the machine is, it's useless without a person telling it what to do. The fourth C, which is creativity, and it's trying new approaches to get things done. And it's very interesting. 21st century can be a fun time to be creative. And there's so many different possibilities, so many different tools. For example, instead of just painting a picture, you can animate it or arrange a piece of music on a computer without learning how to play an instrument. So it's very interesting, and there's a lot of creativity in the 21st century. So they realized the Partnership for 21st Century Learning noticed that these skills are not enough for the 21st century. In order to be effective in the 21st century, we need more than skills, and they call these skills deeper learning competencies. These skills include grit, perseverance, intrinsic desire to learn, emotional intelligence, capacity to empathize with others. So the Partnership for 21st Century Learning focused on adding 2 more skills to the four C's. And these additional skills are citizenship and culture. So citizenship and culture go hand in hand, and it's important for an individual to be in touch with everything that surrounds them, that includes, which is culture and community, and it encourages the individual to appreciate where they come from, where they are now, and how to move into the future. And it's linked to everything about the person and the individual, including art, drama, religion, poetry, history, and of course, the individuals themselves. The 6th C is character education, and it refers to qualities of the individuals essential for being effective in a complex world, including the deeper learning competencies that I mentioned previously: grit, perseverance, ability to empathize. And it's understanding the importance of human connectivity in a world filled with technology, which is a very essential skill. And this is something that we are experiencing today with COVID-19. It includes schools' commitment to helping young people become more responsible citizens and contributing and caring adults. So one of my activities is called the Genius Hour. It talks about passion and what students are passionate about. It focuses on finding one's passion and building upon it. Maybe the next invention will be in your classroom. So the Genius Hour is a teaching method in the 21st century classroom, and it refers to having a certain amount of time where the students can focus on things that they're passionate about and that they really like. So the Genius Hour is where passion comes to life. So you start by introducing the Genius Hour to the students, and here we have different questions that you can ask them. What are some of your current passions? Why are you passionate about your topic? Which question will you be researching? Why is this question important to you? What questions do you have about the topic? What do you already know about the topic? What do you want to know about it? What resources will you need? And how will you present your information? So the students are going to go through a whole research process without even knowing that they're learning. There's 6 principles of the Genius Hour, and these are really important principles. The first one is a sense of purpose. The students develop a sense of purpose. It's student-centered, they're designing their own learning, and it gives them a sense of pride that they're focusing on what they like, and they're responsible for their own learning. The most important principle is the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule states that 80% of class time should be for covering the curriculum and 20% for the Genius Hour. So it's up to the teacher to decide how or when to give them this project. It's very flexible, but you make sure that 80-20, it's a usable pattern and structure for learning in the classroom. One of the advantages of the Genius Hour is that they get to socialize. Students connect with their teachers to plan. They connect with their peers. They work together. They interact with other members of staff. They create questionnaires and surveys, and it gives them a sense of purpose. Finally, we have inquiry. They get to survey, they navigate content, they gather information, they narrow research, and they make sense of ideas that are important to them. Finally, they get to design their own learning. The teachers scaffold, and basically the students are doing all the work. So it's a very interesting project, and it's fun, and they really like it. Another 21st century learning activity is called the fishbowl activity. The fishbowl activity encourages all of four skills: creativity, communication, critical thinking, and it can be for small groups or partner discussions. So this is what the fishbowl looks like. So as you can see in the picture, we have students sitting inside, and this is the fishbowl, and observers who are observing outside the fishbowl, as you can see in the slide. So the ones inside the fishbowl interact with each other, and they focus on a specific topic and have a discussion. The ones outside only observe, they only watch them. And first of all, you start by selecting a topic. You give the students time to prepare their ideas and questions in advance, and this is depending on the level of the students as well. So they prepare the discussion, and then they get into the fishbowl. So the ones inside are involved in a discussion, and the ones outside are observing the students. They take turns. You can manage this in different ways. So you can get the ones outside to tap on the shoulders of the ones inside. When time's up, you give them 20 minutes, and when time's up, they switch places. So they can either tap on each other's shoulders, or you can just shout switch, and they switch places, and the ones inside become observers, and the ones outside become fishbowl participants. After the discussion, you can ask them how the discussion went, what they learned from it, and they can evaluate their performance as listeners and participants. So you can ask them a number of questions. First of all, you ask them to choose a particular topic, a particular student inside the fishbowl, and to write that person's name, and the whole time they'll be observing this particular student. How many times did the student participate? Write down specific ways the student contributed to the discussion. Did the student provide new information that deepened your own personal understanding? Were the points the student made directly related to the text? And then you can ask them general questions about what they observed during the discussion, what things they agreed with, what they disagreed with, how they felt inside the fishbowl, and how they felt when they were outside. Another interesting activity is called Think Aloud. The Think Aloud process is a strategy used to model how readers think as they read. It's often been described as eavesdropping on one's thinking. I'll show you how it's done. So, for example, you have a story. Let's take, for example, Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was an unhappy girl named Cinderella. So you demonstrate and show the students what you want them to do while they're reading. So they're actually thinking about their reading. And it happens to all of us. While we're reading, we kind of drift away and start thinking about the text, thinking about the story. So what do you want them to do? Do you want them to use Post-its while they're reading and underline the difficult words and write them down and stick them on the text? Or do you want them to look them up in the dictionary? Whatever you want them to do, you demonstrate it and you model it and show them how it's done. Here we have the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was an unhappy girl named Cinderella, reading, and then you close the book. I wonder why Cinderella was unhappy. What does Cinderella mean? I'll underline the word and look it up in the dictionary. So this is what you want them to do while they're learning. You can do it in different ways. As I said, you can either have the book open for reading and you close it for thinking, or you can stand on one side of the classroom for reading and you walk to the other side to show that you're thinking. It can be for different text as well. So this is what it looks like. So here we have all the different questions. Do I understand everything I read? Can I see this in my head? What does this word mean? What do I think of this story? This story makes me feel happy or sad. So the students start thinking about the story, and it could also be used for more advanced learners and more different educational or scientific text. So you ask them different questions like, do I have a clear picture in my mind? What new information did I learn? Do I understand everything that I read? What do I think I will learn? What questions do I have about the text? So this is these are different activities that are very interesting, and they get the students involved and interested in the lesson. And I've tried them in my classroom. They're fun, interactive, and they're a great way to motivate and engage the students. And they're great 21st century learning skills. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much.